glad that you decided to return, but you don't look too excited about being here today. Can you tell me what has happened since we last spoke?
I told you I was only here because my attorney thought it could help my marriage and help me see things differently.
I know you had a choice to make, yet here you are. That tells me you're willing to work with me because you could have easily made a different choice. Does that sound correct?
I guess so.
So that I understand you correctly, can you tell me what I guess so means?
It means I'm agreeing with you. Nobody twisted my arm to come back and talk to you, right?
As I mentioned before, this is a safe space. I'm here to help you on this journey to gain some insight on the causes of your distress. Our conversations will remain confidential, except if there's a disclosure of self harm or harm to others. Do you understand what has just been explained to you?
I understand, but I'm just a private person. My culture does not look favorably upon therapy, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I believe it can help me.
I hear what you're saying. I appreciate your honesty. Excuse me. When we last spoke, you told me you were from South Asia. You also stated you grew up in a two-parent household where the women, especially the mother, is held in high regards. Is that correct?
Yes, being of South Asian descent, we hold our mothers in high regard. We often seek guidance from others within our culture. It's hard coming back to speak with you about something so private.
I will respect you and your cultural values. If at any time you feel I am crossing any cultural boundaries, please inform me because that's not my intent. I feel we both have cleared up a few things this morning. If you're open to it, I'd like us to take a moment to start fresh by doing a simple breathing exercise. Would that be okay?
We can try. It might be helpful.
Okay. I want you to close your eyes and let's pretend we're far, far away. There's no stress or discomfort. I want you to breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. You ready?
Yes,
Let's
I'm
try
ready.
it a couple of times and see how we're feeling. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's do one more. Breathe in and breathe out. Did that seem to help?
It did help a little.
Okay. Well, let's shift our focus for a bit. You stated that you're the man of the house and it was your responsibility to take care of your family. Can you tell me another time in your life when you had to take on that same responsibility?
Yes, after my father died, I had to become the man of the house. I took care of my mother, my sister Sharina, and I did everything my mother asked of me. I did it without a question.
How old were you when you took on that responsibility?
I don't know, maybe 9 or 10. I think I was 10 years old. I was just a kid after my father died. I felt like I had no choice to help my family, but to help my family.
Hassan, assuming the role of man of the house as an adult can be difficult. I can only imagine how challenging that must have been for you as a 10-year-old child. How did that make you feel?
Not good. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel sad and angry. I didn't appreciate the fact that everything fell on my shoulders. I was just a 10-year-old boy. I don't think I even grieved the loss of my father.
Tell me more about those feelings of sadness and anger. Were those feelings more directed at the loss of your father, or would you say they were more towards the fact that you had to assume such a responsibility?
I never thought about it until now, to be honest. I believe I was sad that my father died, but I was angry because my mother never allowed me to be a kid. I felt like I had no childhood. It was like I went from being a boy to a man in an instant.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about that.
I don't understand why my mother didn't care of everything. Why did she allow her young son to take on such a momentous responsibility? I'm angry at her, you know. She told me boys don't cry. I never realized how much control she had over my life then and even now.
Everyone cries at one time or another in their life. In most cultures throughout the world, boys, unfortunately, are often taught never to show emotion. Would you agree?
I do. And I know this doesn't just happen in my culture. Still, I was just a kid. I shouldn't have been allowed to cry. I should have been allowed to cry.
I sense you have some strong feelings towards your mother. If she were here right now, what would you say to her?
I think it would be respectful to speak to her in that way. I'm taught to reverence her and that she's always right. She's my mother.
How about we try it a different way? I want you to pretend your mother is sitting in the chair across from you, and you can express your feelings or thoughts to her without any judgment. What would you say directly to her?
I'd say, why didn't you allow me to be a kid when my father died? Why didn't you take care of things? I feel like you control so much my life and you're still doing it today. I miss my father, and when he died, you told me I couldn't even cry. I just want to ask you, why, Mom? Why did you do that to me? I think Samia will still be with me if you hadn't interfered in our marriage.
What ways has she interfered in your marriage? Remember, you're speaking directly to your mother.
You told me how to raise my kids. You told me I must control my finances. You even told me how and when to show affection. Why, Mom? Why would you do this to me?
What do you think your mother would say if she was sitting right here?
I don't know. I doubt that she will apologize. But I know she meant well.
Sometimes, when looking at our past experiences, we're able to gain some type of insight about our current relationships.
I don't follow you. I don't understand what that means.
I could be wrong. Is it possible that the emotions you have towards your mother's controlling behavior has somehow transferred into your relationship with Samia?
I never realized what I was doing, that I was doing that. I had no idea I had become so controlling in my marriage. No wonder she left me.
When it comes to your relation with Samia, in some instances you were behaving like your mother.
I didn't know. I just didn't know. I love Samia. I love my family. I just want to save my marriage.
Hassan, I'd like us to stop here. I want to give you a chance to process everything that you've experienced today. Tell me how you're feeling.
It was a lot. I'm surprised by my behavior, really. I wasn't aware that I was dealing with so much, that I was so controlling. I thought that's what a man is supposed to do.
It seems like you were able to gain some insight on your marriage. I'd like you to think about releasing some of that control. Tell me what that will look like for you, as well as any feelings that may arise. I'd like you to jot them down so we can discuss them next week. Does that sound doable for you?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I think I can do that.
Hassan, that's our time for today. Remember to complete your assignment. Thanks for coming in, and I hope to see you again next week.
Okay, thank you.